Babafemi pointed out that on April 29, NDLEA personnel intercepted a container on its watch list at the Port Harcourt Ports Complex on near Rivers State, where codeine syrups were discovered. According to Babafemi, 1,500 pills of controlled opioid were recovered from a suspect identified as Olarewaju Wahab at the Alabarago area of Ojo on April 29. He said the source of the consignment was traced to Q104B Road, 25 Victoria Garden City, Lekki, the residence of one Obinna Kenneth. Babafemi also announced that NDLEA intercepted 42 parcels of Canadian loud weighing 20 kg concealed in tins of chocolates, Milo beverage, white kidney beans, and dark red kidney beans at the import shed of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Illicit drug trafficking and consumption have emerged as critical challenges in Nigeria, undermining public health, security, and socio-economic stability. Drugs. Every time we hear of drugs, in their numbers, large numbers, and you begin to ask yourself, how did they even cross to get into this country? And these are the ones they got. What about the ones they did not get that has gone round, that has gone viral, that has reached the last person, the last marketer?
You see, lady, let me tell you, and I know I've said it on many occasions while you are on air, that you cannot take away.
It's becoming impossible.
You cannot. I've given you instances, right? I've given you instances, and you say the annoying part, right? They are even moving higher and leaping forward by each pound.
Imagine packing it in cans of beans, kidney beans, red beans, beverages.
Before, it was only Igbo.
Yes.
It was only Igbo. That,
they get from the bush now.
Because they plant it.
They plant it. You
but
just
now,
get.
now we have transcended beyond that. There's
Chronic ones.
You have cloud. You have tramadol.
Is it cloud?
Yes.
It's loud.
Okay, sorry.
We have different. In fact, different ones are coming out.
They have loud.
Who produced them?
You have tramadol.
They should look for the company that produced those things.
You have codeine.
Codeine.
This codeine.
Codeine is usually it's a syrup, but now it's been banned because of the way people misuse it. But some cases still sell codeine. If you go to those little chemists, not pharmacy, little chemists, those Ikoro chemists, you see them selling it there. They know the people they sell it to.
Because there must be high desire.
But these people taking this thing, they should know that this thing is affecting them. It's not good for their system. How can you take something that makes you go gaga and you enjoy it?
No, listen. Until Jesus
comes down
back for the second time. It's just like saying stop selling beer, stop selling alcohol, stop selling whiskey. Stop. Is it possible? Because people, you know that if you put every 10 persons together, 7 of them are hooked. Some are into drugs. Some bottle themselves to stupor. Do you understand? It's not everybody that does drugs. It's not everybody that does, but with the age that we are in now, especially the upcoming generation, where there's excess money to play with, you can't hold this now. They'll go and buy one Self-Remy, 250,000.
Don't expose it.
And they will buy like 10 for a club house. And boys will drink.
Well, let the NDLEA continue their job. They are doing well. And I think I would like to even see a situation where they confiscate these drugs and show the world that they have destroyed the drug. We keep
It's
hearing
not
they get this drug, they get this drug. What do they do with the drug?
It's
Do
not
they keep it somewhere
possible.
or they
It's not
burn it?
possible.
We need to see it all.
We are here this one. We are here in Nigeria's home now. Do you know those Americans and those big
Don't even go there. Don't go there. It's okay.
that is even worse than Nigeria?
Don't go there.
Eh?
Okay, so that's it on NDLEA's table. From NCDC table, the Nigerian Center for Disease and Control has confirmed 832 cases and 135 deaths from Lassa fever and Mpox. Director General of NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, who gave the update on Friday during a national hearing briefing in Abuja, reaffirmed the agency's commitment to protecting public health. It reported that Nigeria had recorded over 4,200 suspected Lassa fever cases, with 696 confirmed infections and 132 deaths, resulting in a 19% fatality rate. While cases have dropped in recent weeks, Dr. Idris warned that the risk remains high in some areas. Lassa fever and Mpox. You know the causes. Rats, keeping your environment dirty. Allowing that long-mouthed, smelly rats to pick things in your kitchen and the rest of it. We need to keep our environment clean. That is one way, at least, to get rid of those rodents that carry Lassa fever. We need to keep our environment clean.
Yes, that's true. Because it is where they have an environment that is filthy.
Yes.
You know, that they can't survive.
Yes.
You know, but once the environment is neat, you can hardly see them because there will be no places for them to go and perch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but another thing again too, you see rats leaving your neighbor's house into your house because the neighbor pursued it. Have you seen these dangerous rats there? They will be looking at you and looking at them. I hate rats. If there's anything I hate,
Especially that one that smells.
that one is called acid.
I see. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know they say it's
Because it has like body odor.
yes.
You know, if it's in an
Smells.
environment, the environment becomes toxic. You know that there is a strange element within this domain by way of the odor that transmits, you know, out of it. You know, I hate rats that go into
Whose kitchen? And that's because you leave your trash in the kitchen. If you take your trash away from the kitchen, it helps also. Okay, so please let us keep our surroundings clean, both in and out. Don't say, oh, outside is not where I stay, just keep the inside clean. Remember, those rats come from the outside to your rooms. So keep your environment clean. So that's it on trending issues. We're going to quickly go to dailies this morning. Let's see what the papers have for us today. First, we're going to start with the Nigerian Tribune. On the Nigerian Tribune papers, we have poverty rate among Nigerians' rural dwellers hits 75%. And this is according to World Bank. On the top strip of the Nigerian Tribune, we have indigenous sheep owners in major crisis over 15% equality. Please, can we have the Nigerian Tribune paper on the screen? Nigerian Tribune, we are on papers today. Oyebanji breaks 18-year-old jinx and completes Ado Ifaki Highway. FG vows to address 4 trillion naira debts creeping Nigeria's power sector. 2027 defections alter South-South political configuration. NDLEA seizes 3.4 billion naira worth of opioid in Lagos, Port Harcourt, uncovers drug in chocolate tins. 11 vigilantes killed, others missing as bandits launch fresh attacks in Sokoto. Police A motorcycle clash in Ondo over arrest of suspects, 6 injured. Ondo farmers block Ore Lagos Road. You want to know the reason why? Grab a copy of the Nigerian Tribune and Peru's father.
Okay, the Punch newspaper, it's our newspaper for review this morning, and Punch has above the masthead. It's just by the side of the masthead now. Assembly crisis. Zamfara, Benue governors challenge National Assembly. That is by the side of the masthead there. Assembly crisis, Zamfara. Benue governors challenge National Assembly as they are being summoned there. And they also have below the masthead, National Assembly counters PDP governors' suit and demand 1 billion naira. Please, can we activate that, please? Can we activate the Punch newspaper on our screen this morning so that our viewer can actually follow through? All right, Nelfont under fire over loans to ex-students. That's on page 8. Naira printing cost skyrockets by 306%. And they also have on the bottom street, Tinubu to meet the Jekos over 4 trillion naira electricity debt. We also have communal boundary clashes, kill over 1,700 in 7 years. And lastly, Oyo signs 3.5 billion naira contract for rural markets upgrade. The rural markets upgrade. That is it for the Punch newspaper this morning.
The Daily Sun is our next paper for review. On the Daily Sun head story, we have Atiku scam hits back at Okowa. Writer says, labels him betrayer. IPOP demands reversal of group's proscription as terrorists. Writer says, insists on earlier High Court stand. Lagos worst hit as Nigeria loses over 30 billion naira to 42 market fires. Stakeholders call for policy overhaul, improved safety system. 4 trillion naira debt. Tinubu to meet Genco's plans phased settlement. End use of Cybercrime Act against journalists. Serap. NGE tell Tinubu government. Federal High Court sets up full desk to enhance journalists' access to information. NPAN backs FG on $220 million fine on Meta. Calls for stranger digital regulation. Okay, that's it on the Daily Sun this morning.
All right. From the Daily Sun, we're moving over to the Vanguard. And above the masthead of the Vanguard newspaper, we have this story, Delta, PDP defections, unwilling, okay, rather I take it away again, PDP defectors, unwilling to register for APC. And the NPAN back to the government, $220 million fine on Meta. President crop of leaders motivated by power, wealth, and acquisition. That statement is credited to Femi Okoromo. And the lead story there, inflation erodes banks, profits jacks up cost. I take that again. Inflation erodes banks, profits jacks up cost. That's on page 19. And by the side of the flank, just like what we have in the previous paper, Genco's 4 trillion naira debt. Federal government pledges cash payment and promissory notes. Edwin Clark to be buried on the 13th of May this month. And we have on the bottom strip there, tension in Odo as Amoteco police clash over custody of suspect and exhumate. Tension in Ondo now as Amoteco police clash over custody of suspect and exhumate. Sarah, efforts to Tinubu, editors to Tinubu, stop Cybercrime Act abuse and free detained journalists as well as others. On the sporting world, on the 20 African Cup of Nations, Morocco delays Flying Eagles qualification. That is it for the Vanguard this morning.
The Guardian paper is next. $37 billion infra crop in limbo 5 years after 1 trillion naira investment. And that's on page 6. On page 3, we have Nelfon scandal. NANS urges FG to sack heads of culpable institutions. 162% more customers migrated to Band A as Tinubu meets Gencos over 4 trillion naira debt. Obi faults BDM's arrest, alleged NANS president's abduction. Fashola describes Nigeria's constitution most maligned document. Defections. Kano governor vows to follow Kwankwaso as Obi's ally. Obaze dumps LP. And we have editors. Serap warn against misuse of Cybercrimes Act. Details on page 5. So that's it on the Guardian newspaper this morning.
The Daily Independent is our next paper for review. The Daily Independent has it above the masthead. Senate leader reveals how Alausa saved Nadeco leaders in exile. Stop using Cybercrime Act against journalists. And Nigerian Guild of Editors, Serap, tell Tinubu's government. And below that, 1 year after Dana Air suspension, passengers refund trapped, staff agitate over unpaid salaries. Okay, on the flush left of the paper, Ondo farmers short express way over plan to break cocoa plantation. That's on page 29. Those who sent me to prison must account for it. That statement is credited to Farotimi, who spoke on the program Sunday Politics yesterday on AI, on channels. All right, retired seafarers ask union to prevail on federal government to pay their pensions. And on the bottom strip there, federal government raises to pay 4 trillion debt to advance power infrastructure collapse. That is the Daily Independent this morning.
Right, we have the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust is next for review. Poverty rising in rural Nigeria. This according to the World Bank. The writer says Nigeria is worse off than 64 years ago. This according to AFDB president. Also, presidency faults Adesina's comments. Action Aid blames corruption. Lakuruawa mounts massive attack in Sokoto, kills 13 hunters. 54 billion naira released to schools, 24 billion naira to students, according to Nelfond MD. Flight disruptions, passengers narrator deal, experts suggest solutions. How Boko Haram attacked Yobe military brigade and killed 4 soldiers. Well, there's a photo speak there as well of a car that's been bombed. I think that's a military vehicle. So that's it on Daily Trust. And our last is the Daily Times. Meta 220M fine, NPA and applause CCPT judgment. Says it aligns with global practices. We have defections not a sign of progress. Momodu tells Tinubu. Police arrest woman who flogged her 1-year-old baby to death. 1-year-old. Nigeria Security and Political Economy Report. And finally, Sarah, NGE demand end to Cybercrimes Act abuse. But this story is actually a touchy one. Police arrest woman who flogged her 1-year-old baby to death. What were you thinking, flogging a 1-year-old baby? A 1-year-old has not even started talking. That's very bad. Well, she should go in for it. Alright, that's it on our papers this morning. We'll quickly go on a short break. When we return, to be time for an export. Stay with us.
Do you know you can now attend a court section in Delta State without ever stepping into a courtroom? Now, Delta State is stepping forward with tech-driven justice. With the Sheriff in town championing the MORE agenda, the Ministry of Justice and the Judiciary are bringing trials to the people faster, smarter, and more inclusive.
The Delta State government has put together a remote platform for us to be able to help the correctional centers to access the courts even while they are not physically present in the court.
What approval from His Excellency. So the funds were released, the equipment has been purchased, we've done a lot of innovation at Ogwashku.
And I appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, who has made it possible for the Visual Court to come to Ogwashku Custodial Center.
Justice in Delta is now a click away.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Ezoteilei. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Ezoteilei. I'm the State's Infection Prevention and Control Focal Person in Delta State. And today, May 5th, is celebrated worldwide as World Hand Hygiene Day. And the theme this year is talking about it might be gloves, it is always hand hygiene. And of course, it is always hand hygiene because of the importance that our hand, the role our hand